We told you that we were going to EV swap this thing, and we're still going to do that, but I needed to address some issues with the car that would allow me to drive it until I got all of the stuff together that I need to do the conversion. So this video is going to involve some work that probably doesn't make sense, but I had to do it. I'm going to address driveshaft carrier bearing and a worn serpentine belt tensioner. They're both in pretty rough shape, and it was a little sus driving the car daily with those things as bad as they were. Watch this video if you want to see me replace those parts, or hang on for like a couple more seconds and check out this Tesla that we got. Ta-da! Clearly it's in pretty rough shape. But in there is an electric motor, and in the back is another electric motor. We're going to do a dual motor conversion in this old Mercedes wagon. This has batteries in it, charger, all that good stuff is going to come out of here, and it's going to go into there, and this thing's going to be fast. So if you don't feel like watching this video, that's fine, but subscribe to the channel and watch the following videos when we start getting into the details of trying to figure out how to make this thing electric.
We told you guys up front that we were idiots, so this is all on you. But you remember when we replaced the water pump in this thing?
I like this car a lot. It's going well? No, not quite.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't put the tensioner back in correctly, or the tensioner itself is bad. I've ordered a new tensioner, and I'm gonna correct the one that's in there or just replace it with a new one. See how this goes. Alright, so the sun's just barely coming up. It's like right there. I gotta try to get this work done before it gets hot out here, but I'm already sweating. Anyways, I've got the tensioner out, and check this out. This is obviously the old one and the new one, and there's an outer and an inner portion. And the inner portion gets clocked on the engine block, and as the assembly wears out, there's a bonded rubber joint inside here. And the outer piece can rotate relative to the inner piece. And if you look at the orientation of these flats compared to the new one, I would say this one's a little bit too far gone. So I'm going to chuck this new one in. Now the belt is way tighter. I also got a new belt while I was in there because I didn't want to put the old one back on. In fact, I couldn't put the old belt on because, like I said, I had to cut it to get it off. The car did come with another belt in it that was intact, but it was kind of dry rotted. And I don't know where it came from. It had definitely been used. It had a mercedes-benz part number on it, but I figured to be safe, I would just put a new belt on. It was only like 30 bucks at O'Reilly's. So now this job is done. So today we need to take the drive shaft out of the car, which means that we need to take the exhaust out of the car. Sun's not up yet, but I gotta take precautions so I don't get head cancer. But I just had my first real look underneath this car, and it was better than I expected. The exhaust is like completely intact, which is crazy. Everything actually, look at that ground strap. The thing's like mint. I've never seen anything so rust-free in my life. There's a little gash right there, but it's literally like the only damage. And it's not even rusted. I don't even think it's through the primer. The rockers are like 100%. I'm hopeful that this exhaust just comes out easily because this is a California car and there's like no rust. And the fasteners honestly look like they're in good shape. So here goes. Well, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing now. These are the ones I think I'm most concerned about. It's always important to do an easy win first. Are you gonna fit? Come on. Okay, there we go. course. It's not moving. Oh, this dude. Okay, let's try something else. Apparently with a little bit of PB Blast, I am stronger than an impact wrench. I just realized there's 2 more fasteners that are way harder to get to. So that's fun. Ooh. It sounds crunchy. The exhaust manifold bolts just like came out. I don't understand, that's literally never happened to me. Look. These are probably from 1994. Like, they look like original hardware. They're fine. How is that even possible? Alright, so it's a little bit hard to show, but now that we've got the exhaust down here, this is what I'm really working on, is the drive shaft up here, because when you pull away from a stop in this car, it vibrates pretty badly, and here's why. So there's a carrier bearing on this drive shaft that lives right here, and it has that much play in it. So the drive shaft just kind of hammers around in there until you get into second gear. So I'm going to replace that. Okay, so here's what the bearing is supposed to look like. Just sits on there and it holds this middle section of the drive shaft up against the bottom of the car. Here's what it did look like. This was completely separated from the inner piece, and every time we tried to accelerate, this was just banging around inside there. So now I gotta throw this back in the car.
So that's how you replace those parts on this thing, I guess. I was just kind of winging it. I didn't really have any procedures to go by, but I got in there and I got it done. So click on the like button if this helped you change your driveshaft carrier bearing or your serpentine belt tensioner. I don't know. Click on the like button if you thought it was stupid. That's pretty much it. Remember to subscribe, and we'll see you in a couple weeks with our next video. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Bye!